Hey guys, Brad here, and I'm back with another issue of Star Wars Build the Millennium Falcon. This time we're going to look at issue number 27, which is going to include, I think, the second to last piece of the transparent support material, which I actually do have set up here on my desk, but you can't see it in frame right now. We also have the second to last piece of the hallway. We've got the rest of the framework for this episode. I think we're actually going to be assembling that. And then you can see the padding back here as well as another piece of hull framing. So we've got a little bit to do. I'm going to have to start off by priming this piece, especially the inside. And there's not going to be a whole lot of painting on it, but I do want to get that done before we start gluing in the pads and everything else. So let's take I'm going to set this aside. We're going to take a really quick look. I don't know what that's sitting there. I thought I threw all those away. I'm going to take a quick look at the issue, this episode. Make sure we're focused in here. Ground buzzer cannon. A lot of people have been asking whether or not there's going to be a ground buzzer cannon included, and DeAgostini said quite a while ago that we wouldn't be getting one because there seemed to be some confusion or miscommunication that we would actually be getting one of those. So we're not. So we've got some information on the Super Star Destroyer Executor. I'm going to say Executor. The Executor. Let's see, Tatooine Moisture Farms, some information about how those work. Gun control, gun control's the ground buzzer cannon. We get a nice shot of the underside of the Millennium Falcon. We also get a sequential shot of the cannon popping out of the bottom of the Falcon and actually firing. And there we've got some more information on the cannon. And then we've got our next part. So we've got the hull frame, the stiffener rig, the jig assembly, interior details, which is the lower corridor piece, some padding, and another hull plating piece there. And then, we'll be fitting the cushions in, fitting the floor plating on, and then doing the assembly of the frames. So, and also, they talk about the assembly of the jig. I don't have a piece of board or cardboard or anything like that to use at this point, so I'm not really going to do that just yet. But next time I'm at the craft store, I'm actually going to take a look and see if see if I can find the appropriate piece to use there. So I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to bother doing an episode on putting, taping this thing down, but I don't know. We'll see. So that's it, and we'll be right back with the assembly of the hull piece, the hallway, not the hull, hull and hull. But no, we're going to do the hallway piece, and then we'll assemble the framework and get the get all the panels put on. So we'll be right back. Okay, I'm back, and I've got my the hallway piece primed, and what have I done? What have I done with the with the rest of? Oh, here it is. Okay, I've also got the panel or the support jig put in. I think it's going kind of counterclockwise here. It does kind of fit on the other tab, but I'm pretty sure it goes on this side, so I don't know. It doesn't really... Well, let's see here. Yeah, in the photograph, it actually does kind of look like it goes over there. I don't know. I'll have to mess around with this jig a little bit more. But what I'm going to do, we're going to do the gluing in the pads. It looks like we just have to glue in 2, which will be super easy. Let's see here. I've got some screws that I'm going to need for the flooring, which this is just going to sit right in here like so. So that'll be super easy. And what have I done? What have I done with the screwdriver? There we go. I know there were several other people, a couple other people doing YouTube videos on this build. We were talking about the magnetic screwdriver that the kit comes with. It's actually a fairly nice screwdriver, but the tip is actually not really that great. And like several others, if you grind the thread, or the, not really the threads, but the head of the screwdriver against the head of the screw, you can actually end up grinding out, instead of grinding out the the threads on the screw, you're gonna screw up the tip of your screwdriver, which is kind of what mine is starting to do. So I'm hoping that it's going to make it through this build. I don't know. So I'm going to have to go over this a little bit with some more weathering, and I'll do that. I don't know. We might touch upon that, but we have to get out. Did I just snort? We have to get out the pads here. Looks like we just need 2 pads, which is going to be the number 1 over here and number 2 right there. So I'm going to go ahead and clip both of these out. And okay, these all have ladders on the back. Okay. I'm good. I'm good, guys. I'm good. All right. And I'll get my... I'm not putting all these screws in just yet. I'm just kind of going to set these aside for right now. I am going to just sand off the bits that we need to sand. Okay. Okay, I think that's pretty good. And again on this side. Just trying to make sure that it looks good and is satisfactory. All right. I think that actually worked better than I thought it would. Okay, so this side is actually, let's see if I can zoom in there a little bit. This side, I think, is going to fit in kind of like this. I don't know if it's the picture on the in the booklet actually pretty much shows this pad sitting all the way down against the floor. Now I don't have, well, I guess I could always pop this long center one out just to kind of test fit it, even though we're not really supposed to until the next issue. But what did I do? Oh, there we go. But I guess I could. And then pretty much the same thing on this corridor piece. And then look, we've got we've got a spot for another the last ring, which we will all be happy to put those behind us. All right, so I am going to get out the super glue wherever it is, and uh-oh. I think it glued itself together. Ugh! Wow. Well, this isn't good, guys. Wow. It's really on there. That is not good at all. I might have to... And the thing's like half full. I might have to... Oh, wait, there it goes. I think I just needed to get some brute force behind it. Okay, here it's coming. A big chunk of super glue just went down in my shoe. Great. Huh, that's weird. I wonder why. Boy, it's real. The tip's really starting to look bad, though. Yeesh. I think I have... Yeah, there's some... Whoops. Yeah, that's good. All right, I'm going to start on the outer one. I'm just going to put a little drop there, little drop there. And this is actually, the paint has been curing for several hours now. I can't really, I don't know, probably 6 to 8 hours. I actually primed this, when did I prime this? I guess it was like, it was this afternoon. Wait, was it last night? No, it was this afternoon. So yeah, it's been about 8 hours, and then I painted it right after that. And I could actually kind of go over this a little bit, except there's going to be a cap on the back. We're probably never going to see the back part of that. It's just from inside the hold area, this is just going to go and stop, and you will never, you know, it just kind of goes off into oblivion. It would be kind of nice if there was like a round, not really like a sticker, but like maybe like a piece of cardboard that just had like a 3D representation of maybe what is beyond. But I don't think that we're gonna get that. So, all right. So those are the two pieces that. Oh, hopefully yeah, those are the two pieces. Oh, this is what I was talking about. Hopefully, I got all that in the shot. And then actually, I'm going to pull out my paintbrush here. And where's I have a little cap filled with water. I'm going to put this aside for just a moment. And I always hate to shake this thing up because it always gets really super bubbly, which I don't like. So maybe if I just kind of turn it upside down. Yeah, that's kind of the only thing I don't like about working with this Tester's wash. It's a really nice wash, except it gets really super bubbly when you shake it up. So I am going to just kind of, paint this on. I'm going to make sure I get the floor. Might have gone a little bit too overboard on the water there. We'll turn this around, kind of do the other side. Okay. So again, kind of want to just be a little bit heavier, down kind of in the crevices here, along the walls. And I don't want to have like, you know, really large brush strokes, and I also don't want any of these little bubbles to kind of appear here. So it's kind of hard to do it, but you can kind of brush it on, and then as you come back, you know, you can brush off a lot of the excess, and even wipe it off. I mean, we can go, you know, over this flooring here, and you know, kind of even out the paint, and then as it dries, it's just going to kind of, it's going to settle down. It's going to look a lot more natural. Just going to get a little bit more because this isn't quite doing what I'm wanting it to do. Okay. And again, I do want it darker down around the floor, like that. Okay. All right, I think we might have a winner. Now later on, I can always come back anywhere where I see the streaking, and I can just dab the paint in some water, and then kind of go back over that. It's not really that big of a deal, and that'll kind of help get rid of some of the streaking. We can already see, like right here, there's kind of a streak forming. So I'm going to let this dry, and maybe at the end of the episode, we can come back and actually see. Hopefully it'll be dry enough that we'll be able to, I'll be able to show you what I'm talking about. So I'm just going to wipe my brush. Wrong cap. And I seem to be out of paper towel. All right, that's okay. I have a napkin. It's always funny when you go to like a carry-out. They always give you a few napkins, and usually a few too many. And so I just collect those, and yeah. Okay, next up we have some ribbing. So we've got that here. Okay, so that's the centerpiece. Okay, here is the... Okay, here's the rest of the pieces for issue 27. Let me zoom back out again. All right. And I'm going to set the instructions over here on the side so that I can kind of see what's going on. And then get my hull pieces laid out over here. Okay, so we need to put it's asking to put the rib, the radial rib, together first. So actually, I shouldn't sit here with my super glue out, but now I'm actually afraid to put it back together because I'm afraid it's gonna stay glued. Okay, well, whatever happens, happens. Super glue is not that expensive. We can always go and get some more if we need to. All right. That is the outer edge, I believe. it's going to go like this. Okay. Now we get the machine screws, not to be confused with the kind of the short brass. What are these for? Well, it's almost like I have an extra packet of those. And then we have the screws to actually tie the plate, or screw the plating down, not tie it down. This piece of framing seems so huge. I mean, look at that. It's like as big as my hand. They always seem so big, and then when you put them on, they're just kind of like, meh. They're not really that big. All right. Okay, so basically we are just lining this up. It doesn't really say. I think I've been kind of doing them from this side. And yeah, so I want to pick out which sides have the ribs. Or I'm sorry, not the ribs, but the threads on the little coupler there. We've done these before, so pretty easy stuff. And I really love this kit that it always gives you, like every single packet, it always has one extra screw. And I actually have a little bin somewhere. I think it's in the other room still. But I have a little bin, and it's basically just all the extra screws that I've accumulated during the build. And okay, so I'm just going to screw this one in. Not all the way down tight, but almost all the way down tight. And we're going to do the same thing. We're just going to put the opposite in, like, hopefully like so. Now I'm trying to do this with two hands, and then, you know, also hold it so that it's viewable in the camera. So, all right, so I don't want to tighten these down all the way. You know, these are a little bit loose. And then I'll put the other two screws in, and once I have all four of them, I can just go down and tighten them all. Super duper easy. Oh, here's the other. Yeah, there's the other screws I'm going to need. Okay. All right. And then you just want to tighten each one of these down until it's snug. Okay. And it's not going anywhere. Okay, so as I bring this around kind of into the frame here. Okay, hopefully that'll be pretty good. All right, so the next thing I need to do is frame BF30 fits against the assembly as shown. So this is going to go right in here, like that. So now let's get out the small black screws. This desk is starting to become a mess. I need more room. I need more room. We all do, don't we? All right, so pick those two up. Oh, that went together really nice. Now I'm really starting to get worried about the framework is getting so large that it is definitely starting to flex. I was noticing that earlier today because I was trying to carry it into the room here so that I could do this episode, and I was just like, oh man, it's really, really, really starting to flex now. So it's not going to be until next month, though, in October, probably middle of October, that I'm going to get issues 29 through 32, which is actually going... Why is this not going in? Come on now. Why are you being like this? There we go. In issue 30, well, in issue 29, we're actually going to get the inner ring, and that's really, really going to, strengthen up this framework. And then obviously, once we get it all the way around, with the first little bit of inner, coupling links that we get, I think those won't be up until maybe issue, let's see, that's probably going to be somewhere in the 37 to 40. Let's see, because we get 32, we get 3, 4, 5, and 6, and then 7, 8, yeah, 40. So yeah, it's going to be a while until we, can really get this thing strengthened up. Well, hopefully with issue 29, we'll have it pretty strong, just with the, the rib, the centerpiece. I think that'll really strengthen it up quite a bit. I've heard a lot of people say that it does. So, all right, so we've got those 3 pieces in. Now we have to go to these pieces. Okay, which again is going to sit on the inside. And actually what I'll do, maybe, is put a couple of, well, I guess I can put all of them in place. And of course now with these I don't have any extra screws. Alright, I think that'll be alright. Actually, let's go up. Okay. Now these pieces, oh, there we go. All right, good. All right, last black screw. All right, so now I'm going to just tighten these down all the way. Again, just kind of making them snug, but not over tightening them. Okay. Same thing over here. Another reason why this side I think is going to tend to sag a lot more. This is actually going to be the rear section over here, and we're going to have the big engine pod kind of sitting underneath this, and there's literally no plastic that's actually going to support this back half. So I'm going to have to kind of maybe rig something up, some type of support. Maybe I can get one of my paint cans that's not used for anything yet and pop that under there just to kind of help support it in the meantime. But all right. But all right, so that pretty much is it for issue 27. And then in issue 28, we have the upper piece of the hull. We've got the little corridor ring. And then we've got one more piece of hull framing that's going to stick out over here, like right off this way. So I don't know if I'm going to actually stick that on. But what I think I might actually do is flip this over, and we're going to see about, let me see if I can, well, let's see here, because I'm trying to get all of this in the view of the camera. Okay, so this piece went down here somewhere. Right. Uh-huh. Oh, I didn't have this much trouble doing it before. There we go. Okay, and then is it this piece? Is okay, this piece actually sits over top of that, like so. And there we go. All right. This is probably going to be one that we'll have to kind of screw down to make it happy. So I might do that a little bit later. And then over here, let's see. This actually, no, that goes on the outside somewhere. Seems like I'm missing a piece. Am I missing a piece? So how does this? Because it doesn't really say like fit all your pieces together. It just, yeah, it doesn't. It's normally it's like, hey, fit your pieces together, and I'm gonna kind of do a sneak peek. No, it doesn't in that one either. So I'm almost thinking that this might go up here, but see, that doesn't make sense either. Well, no, that doesn't make sense. Oh, maybe, no. Now this makes sense right here. Actually, yeah, because there's the two little kind of cuts there and there. So maybe this is going to go... I mean, there's two pegs here and there's two holes there. So I'm kind of thinking that these might line up like this somehow. But then this is offset, so that doesn't make sense. Actually, part of me is saying that it's going to fit like this down here eventually. So, and I don't have any more pieces of hull, So that's all the pieces I have right now. Okay, well, so I'll have to kind of fiddle around with this a little bit, and maybe I'll screw a couple screws down just to kind of help strengthen and support the framing while we wait and for another month for more parts. And actually, it's going to be more, a few more months before we actually have this whole semicircle built. Which, if I move my camera out just a little bit, you guys can see here. So we're really starting to get really big sections of the Falcon completed. Again, I think this goes right there, because it actually has two little slits in it which would line up with that. It's just I don't know what goes here. And again, this I'm kind of thinking goes here. Maybe. Because I think we're going to, there's going to be like this big, huge engine piece that goes around here. And I saw some pictures, well, I was looking really closely at the prototype from Steve Dimzo, and it actually looked like it was one piece, like one big, gigantic piece that's going to fit over here. But I don't know, maybe it's like two pieces. We'll have to wait and see. Let's see how our little piece here turned out. It's still actually drying, so as you can see, there's a really distinct line there. So I'm going to want to definitely come back and kind of smooth that out. And I'm going to come back through and actually redo this a little bit of, this cushion, kind of dirty it up a little bit more. Maybe throw some blacks on there, and then we'll see, down the road what it looks like. So that's really about it for right now, guys. We'll see you back for issue 28, which will be the last issue for month 7. And we've got another several weeks to wait for month 8. Should be here middle of October. And, we'll definitely have another section, maybe 2 sections of the framework. Definitely 1, maybe up to 2, frame sections. Plus, we'll have that internal ring, so we'll actually be able to kind of mount the turret if we want. But I still don't know if the turret that we have is the top turret or the bottom turret. We are getting both the top and bottom turret, but there's actually been a lot of speculation on which turret it actually is. So who knows? But at least I can put it on there temporarily just to make it look cool, take pictures and all that stuff. So this sucker is huge. I mean, look, this thing is just so massive. Oh, one other thing too. In the last episode, I actually kind of finished this piece up. I haven't glued anything yet, but instead of actually using the paint thinner and going over this, I actually just kind of airbrushed over top of this just to kind of blend all this in, blend it all together, which I might actually, do some more airbrushing in the future, just to kind of blend all this together. But it's not glued on there. I can actually pull this right out. But let's see here if I can focus in on this so that you guys can see how that turned out. And see if you can kind of tell. Can I get it in there? That's what she did. Yeah, and actually you can see I still need to come back through and file the little mini cushions there. So I'm still not done with this, but I haven't glued anything together, so no big emergencies there. And let's see if I can turn up the brightness here a little bit on this. Come on, bright. Yep. So cool. It almost looks like you could just walk down through there, doesn't it? Maybe if we're at eye level. But it would be so cool if we had, an enclosure, like pieces that go over here and here to kind of complete that that imagination there, but oh well, no big deal. All right, guys, that's it for issue 27. As always, please don't forget to like, hit that thumbs up if you enjoyed hanging out with me once again as we build a little bit more onto the Millennium Falcon, and I'm out of focus again. And we'll come back in the next issue. I am actually going to prime and, well, actually I won't. I'll have to prime and paint it again. The last bit of hull section, we'll put the last four pads on there. We'll do the little ringed pad, which everybody loves. But that'll be the last one, actually. So I think that's the absolute last one ever, maybe. I don't know. Thanks for watching, guys. I'm Brad M73, and this has been Star Wars Build the Millennium Falcon. Bye for now, guys.